Hello everyone. I have gotten several comments in the last month, and people seem to be wanting to know about Steve Lilly. uh, Way more than usual. So I'm going to explain to you what's going on with Steve Lilly. Excuse the locust behind me and whatever LUT or film filter this camera set on. It's my phone actually, but I don't know. Everything's black and white behind me. That's weird. Okay, Steve Lilly. Here's the story. I just wrote a story one day. I just thought it was kind of funny about Steve Lilly. That was Steve Lilly #1. I wrote that story in about 2 or 3 hours one afternoon when I had a little bit of time on my hands, and people seemed to enjoy it, so I wrote another, and then I decided I would just do 10. Just do 10. Put those up on YouTube and the podcast, and people really seem to like that series, and I have no plans of abandoning Steve Lilly. Let me change hands here. I just haven't had time to write. So here's what's happening. I'm writing again. I'm in the middle of Steve Lilly #12. I already have 11 done, and I'm going to get up to about 15. When I get to 15, I'm going to record all those. I've rewritten 1 through 10. And Steve Lilly is going to have his own podcast out on the podcast network. That's what I call it, the podcast network. Meaning you can get that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do a Steve Lilly YouTube channel. Maybe I will. I don't know. I've got the What If It's True channel that I haven't abandoned, but it never did much. It just so I started bringing all those stories over to Dixie, and maybe I'll change the What If It's True YouTube channel to the Steve Lilly channel. And the plan is to do a big production podcast with maybe sound effects, other voice actors, things like that, and actually do a real podcast. But it takes a little work. So to answer your questions, the many questions that have come in through the comments and emails is Steve Lilly is, I've got big plans for Steve Lilly. He's that dude is always into something. So Steve Lilly's coming. I know everybody wants one now, but I'd like to launch this podcast in a really good professional way, and I might even buy some advertising for it. And that's what's going on with Steve Lilly. I get to work about an hour a week on a novel, a Steve Lilly novel. That's I think it's pretty good. It's kind of a darker side of Steve Lilly. It's not quite the funny stuff that goes on in the podcast. There is funny stuff in the novel, but so I got a chicken cackling over here on my stairs. But so that's where I am on Steve Lilly. I have to finish. I've got 3 audiobooks I'm under contract on, and I'm 6 to 8 months late with them. The one I'm working on now is Bobby Clark's White Mountain Bigfoot, Volume 3. It is a really good book. I've got it all recorded. I just need some quiet time to sit down and edit the second half of it and get that out. And then I have 2 more to do for D.A. Roberts, 2 more of his Wild Hunt, in his Wild Hunt series. And I want to thank these authors for being patient with me. I just overcommitted on those, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to get them done. And if you fire me, you probably should. But I hope you don't, because of all the things that I'm doing with the podcast and writing and different stories and things like that, the audiobook recording is the most relaxing. You record 2 or 3 chapters, then you edit them, you record. It's just a relaxing process for me. And then Jack LaFountain is working on he's in the editing process of his third volume of the Ed Landry Mystery Series. It's going to be called Voodoo Moon, and he is hinting that he might want me to do that, and that's the only one. If he does, I'm going to do Voodoo Moon, and then I'm done. I'm done with audiobooks. Even though it is my favorite thing to do, I don't have time to do it. Anyway, it's a long story. I did the first 3 or 4 real quick, and then the next ones I got busy with work and it was harder to do. Now I'm trying to launch Steve Lilly, and I have these audiobooks in front of that, and I want to get to Steve Lilly, but I want to do the audiobooks. I want to do them right, and I'm not very good at it. I know that, but I just love doing it. So that's where, anyway, I know I'm probably confusing you, and I don't assume that you care what's going on with my audio project life, but that's what's going on. Steve Lilly's coming, and I'm trying to think of some of the other questions people have asked. They want to know what kind of motorcycle I ride. It's a Triumph Tiger. I have a couple of bikes. I have a Kawasaki KLR 650, which is probably my favorite bike. It's that bike is more fun out on trails and gravel roads and even blacktop. And but I got to ride the Natchez Trace on that Triumph, and I used to ride all the time. When I was in my 20s, I started riding, and I don't know, at some point 10, 12 years ago, I sold all my bikes, and so I bought this KLR back 6 or 8 months ago, and I rediscovered how much I love riding motorcycles, and so now I'm back up too. And the KLRs, that's a cheap bike. It's not. And if anybody's wanting to just have fun with the ride, KLR 650 is just awesome. And I even heard rumors they're going to quit making them. I don't know. They quit making them for a couple, 3 years, and they came back out with them this year, and I snagged one. And anyway, I'm just rambling. I like talking motorcycles. My sons probably get sick of me talking about them. They ride too, and we all just have fun on the bikes. See what else is going on. Nothing. It rained this morning, and it's going to be real humid today. I got my grass cut yesterday afternoon. I don't know if you can see that, but my yard looks nice. My wife's out of town till next Tuesday or Wednesday, so I'm about to jump in the office and get to work on. I have to do a podcast. And then today, the rest of the day and tomorrow, I'm going to work on Bobby Clark's White Mountain Bigfoot Volume 3. Try my best. He'll text me and he go, "How are you coming?" I think I can finish this weekend. I was saying that 2 months ago, and I won't finish the weekend. I'll still have 40% to do, and then my customers will load me up with work, and I have to do that. So anyway, you get the picture. I overcommitted. And it's shameful. It really is shameful not to manage your time better, but sometimes it happens, you know, you just do it. And I'm just so thankful these authors are patient with me. I'm a total amateur. I'm not a professional. And they could and should fire me right away, but they're hanging with me. And I have a tremendous amount of gratitude to them for that. And assuming you give a shit about any of this, I just thought I'd let you know. Tons of questions about Steve Lilly. Steve Lilly's coming. He has got several really cool things going on. And when I hit 15 and redo the first 10, I'm going to release that podcast. And that might happen probably, I don't know, maybe September is realistic. Sooner if I can, but as soon as I get it up and everything's rolling, I will let you know. And then from then on, I will do a Steve Lilly podcast every couple of weeks on his own podcast. It'll be the Steve Lilly Squatch Operators podcast or something. So we'll see how that goes. I just wanted to let you know. So we're at 9 minutes and 50 seconds. So this will be a 10-minute video. I'll see you guys later. I appreciate you. Have a good one.